talk about our country, the red, white, and the blue. Let's stand up for old glorious patriots are true. We love America, the land of the free. We love America, the home of the brave. We love America, from sea to shining sea. We love America, our country God made.
Out.
Ring it.
Let it ring.
It just cut off.
It did.
Oh,
That sucks. You go back and re-edit it.
Yeah. Just keep the audio going. You can cut the picture.
Yeah, that's
somehow.
true. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, could do that.
That'd be kind of cool.
I do like the picture.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Coffee Table Chronicles.
So who was that bald guy in the?
That was you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Many
Long,
moons ago.
long time ago.
long time ago. I'm telling you.
Indeed.
It's kind of a different setup tonight.
It is. I'm over here all on my onesies with a sweater vest.
Because it hurts my head when I have to do this to look at you all the time. So it's easier to.
You can look straight ahead.
Howdy.
Yeah.
How about this coffee we're drinking?
It's good.
Mm.
It's good shit.
Who's a
As long as
back?
you bring the bag.
Badass.
Is the bag up? Oh, they're over there.
We got some
I got a
bags.
bag.
We got some bags. We're doing vanilla warfare tonight.
Oh, this is the wrong one, but still.
I don't have the bags downstairs, I think. So I'll put it up here.
There it is. I
So-
see it.
Red, white, and badass brew coffee. Get yourself a bag today at rwbbcoffee.com. Help a veteran. It's legit. Move that other sponsor stuff out of the way.
Not that one.
Who that be?
Who that be?
It's going to be an interesting topic tonight.
Yes, it is. We're not sure how it's going to go because everyone's scared. I'm scared anyway.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's do some memes, though. Memes are always fun, right?
Yeah.
Let's do some memes. The best right-wing conspiracy wants to disparage my father's good name with fake entries and AI photos and Epstein files. That's interesting now that AI is being brought into that. I do like this. The American people know better. Close but no cigar, Trump.
Now, did she really tweet that?
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
it's possible, but
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
that would be
Close but no cigar. I hope she did that just so that her dad can go, "You stupid bitch."
People were forgetting about that.
Almost got him forget.
Well, speaking of,
Dad, that's mom.
that's mom.
I didn't rape that ugly one, did I? Dad, that's mom.
That's pretty funny. Oh God, gotta love it. How socialism works.
Yeah.
Free stuff, you and the government. Don't pick up the subject.
I like that.
Remember, the people you're arguing with thought this man was competent.
Yes.
That is so true, right? Wet bag of dog. I would never forget that.
So true.
ICE agents need to show ID. Voter ID is racist.
The level of just
Stupidity.
stupidity. It's just so hard to deal with. I can't remember if it was Andrew Wilson or who it was talking about what makes liberals so hard to deal with is they don't have arguments about anything. They're just stupid.
Yeah.
They heard it from somebody else. They didn't develop any ideas on their own. They heard it from somebody else and they're running with it.
Yep.
Like, yep, we hear, oh, ICE is bad. Is it? Okay. Why? Well, they are. Okay. Why?
Yeah, tell us
They're
why.
wrong. They're breaking the laws. Okay. Which ones? I hate them. Well, that's cool. You can hate them. But do you have anything of substance to back up why you're so vitriolic about something that you don't understand what's going on?
They don't.
That's
You
why
know?
there is no arguing with them. You can't.
No, well, and that's just like I am more and more impressed with the amount of cops that don't shoot people at these things. There was a video of this lady walking up to a cop that was filling out an accident report in front of a school. She's like, "Excuse me," and he's like, "Yes." She's like, "Do you have to do that here?" And he's going like, "I don't know what you're talking." She's like, "You're making people nervous. Just sitting out here, you're driving around the school. You've been here since 8 a.m." And he's going like, "Bitch, I'm trying to do my job." And she's just relentlessly just harassing him. And it's like, I would kill you. This is why I can't be. I would just shoot you, put you in the trunk. Nobody would miss you. There's no way anybody loves that woman. This is just wasting your time just harassing a cop who's just literally just doing his job and just filling out a report. He's not even in the middle of any kind of police action, but you're giving him shit because he's a cop. It's upsetting.
I always go back to the videos that they post on YouTube all the time, and they're just egging these cops on to do something so they can catch it on tape. That just annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, I know. And it's weird because there's a weird balance between you have rights violations that happen all the time, and a lot of cops who don't know their job and where it begins and where it ends, and they get overly sensitive and they react to people who they shouldn't react to because the guy calls them a pussy or whatever. Next thing you know, he's beating them up, and that kind of stuff happens all the time. That's not any better,
right?
To be harassing them in the first place. But it's such a weird balance, and it's like nobody's right in either of those situations. Right. And I know what it does to you to hear that because you have that back the blue mentality, which I totally understand. But then if you're ever in that other position where you're the one getting fucked by them,
it's
a way different story.
Process,
yeah, because until you're the person that your rights are actually being violated,
right,
you don't know what that feels like, and it's hard to even imagine. Just like it's really easy to be me compared to, say, somebody else or a female or a black guy or whatever that's in a similar situation, might be identical situations. And because of whoever the cop happens to be, it might be a much different situation. Because Adam Carolla says it best. He goes, if I was a black guy, I would assume cops are racist, but I'm white. So I know they're just dicks. And it's not universal, but at some level it almost has to be, because you can't be a nice guy and live and be a cop. It's in this day and age, you have to be so on your toes and be prepared to be shot at for absolutely nothing. Yeah. And it's an untenable situation that I don't know how you fix it. And it's why I would never do that job, because I understand that it's a thankless job for the amount of money that you're making, and you can't raise the money because then you just get more jerk offs that are going to go and violate people's rights. And I would be one of them.
One of my favorite videos that float around all the time, or memes that float around, is, you ever see Liar Liar, Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
When he comes clean, he goes, "Stop breaking the law, asshole," when he yells at him over the phone. It's like, it's a lot of times it's that simple. Not always, but
But in a reality-based situation, it is sort of that simple. Yeah. If you took away all the times that people are doing shit they shouldn't be doing in the first place, and just boiled it down to the times that cops are just way out of line, it's a much smaller percentage.
Yeah, I agree.
But it is still there. Mm-hmm. And that's the part. How do you get rid of that? It's hard because, again, it's a crap job that most people don't want to do. Yeah. So, like, when you take the people who are willing to do it and then the people who want to do it, there's a lot of security guards that wanted to be cops, but they couldn't cut it because they realized you're way too big of a piece of shit for us to give you a badge and a gun. And I know some of those people personally, and I would be one of them. I would never cut it as a cop because I would absolutely abuse power, and I'd shoot people that didn't need to be shot because people get on my nerves and I have an ego about stuff. And I think that plays into it. Because how often can you have people just be shitty to you all day at your job?
Yeah.
And you're not going
to all day, every day. Yeah.
And you're not going to find, just even the COs inside of jails, they can't be human beings. They'll be killed.
That's a shitty job.
Yeah. And those guys, most of the time, are people who couldn't make it as cops. Yeah. But they still wanted to be involved in law enforcement to some degree, or they were bullies. And that, I know that for a fact. I went to school with a few of them, that they're cops. And I know why they're cops, because they got picked on in high school. Now they're like, who's picking on who now? Right. Yeah. Like, you're the same dork I went to school with, and you're still a dork.
I think our comments are broken. Nobody's commenting. We got people on, but is anybody commenting out there? Because when
somebody say hi.
Yeah, somebody say hi.
See if it's working.
Comments are working. It's unusual. Usually we have like 10 comments, 20 comments by now.
There were some comments for a second there.
I'm not seeing them on
usually it saves them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's 5 or 6 people on my phone.
Yeah, there's 7 people watching right now,
and you're seeing comments on your phone?
I am.
You have to tell us what the comments are.
So blank space says, that's why I'm not a cop, and I will test it. That's one of the reasons that you're not a cop. My wife's on for a second there too.
You're not seeing comments either?
I've got them on my phone on YouTube, so I don't know what's going on with the.
So it must be
no comments at all on here.
Must be a StreamYard issue.
Well, that's just great. So I'll cover them here on my phone.
Okay, good. Because sorry, guys. I thought it was unusual. We started the show and nobody's saying hi. It was like,
Oh, we're just
No, we
here
got a
alone.
hello everyone, hi everyone, hi everyone, hi Allison, and then we got a, that's why I'm not a cop. We got a howdy,
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 you.
haha,
Howdy.
and I said, hey y'all. So anyway, thanks for joining us.
it's
I don't know
gotta
what's
be-
going
it's
on
got to
with
be a
Rumble.
StreamYard thing.
I can't get on Rumble, so I can't check Rumble.
But that's okay.
Let me see.
That's bizarre. That's
It is. Oh, look at that one. Oh wait, we already saw that one.
weird.
So yeah.
Look at that comment.
Yes, he says I like to party too much. And yes, that is why you're not a cop. No, he's the same as me. Like honestly, in that position, both of us would be terrible because we'd last 15 minutes and we'd be like, how much? All right. Sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to jail? Party. Yeah, anyway.
Maybe I'm the only one on on Rumble.
On Rumble?
I got
You might be.
one eyeball.
Yeah. We our views on Rumble come after the show posts. That's usually where it comes from.
So hey,
Yeah,
Rumblers, tomorrow.
on the rewatch.
Hope you're having a great breakfast.
So tonight we're talking about, we're going to try to talk about, oh, look at that. All the
Hey.
comments just popped up
Wow.
at once. Holy shnikey.
Technology.
There they are.
That is bizarre. Isn't that weird? They pop up.
Yeah.
on these. That's
It almost
funny.
scared me.
I know. It's crazy.
Woo.
So we're talking about, I like the way Joey put it, smoke screening, kind of what's going on in the world and how much of it is a smoke screen for what's really going on in the world.
Good
Yeah.
point.
So I would like to frame it with, what's the biggest news story that's happening right now that's actually being mostly reported and talked about. And I would have to say it's the Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of unique because it's the mother of a celebrity, but
Who's the celebrity?
Savannah from the
Savannah?
Today Show.
Oh, okay. So not really anybody.
Yeah.
Joey's point.
So I've heard the little.
But
bit
I
of
mean,
it, but
there's other awful things happening in the world that other people are probably, been kidnapped or whatever. And,
Every day.
We're not hearing about it, but I can think of a few other stories that are a whole lot bigger that really should be in the news all the time, but they're just not.
for instance.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. One, I don't want to talk about either because the more we find out about it,
The harder
more-
it is, the
the
harder
more I'm
it is to
getting
deal
sick
with.
to my stomach.
It is. It
to
is.
be
Yeah.
honest with you.
So the Nancy Guthrie I've heard a little bit about. What I heard most recently was that there was somebody who was claiming to have information on the kidnappers.
Yeah. Yeah. TMZ. It's like
Harvey Weinstein,
Levin.
Harvey Levin, one of the
Yeah.
most upstanding human beings. Keep in mind that this guy, it blows my mind that he totally gamed the system. His whole business is using celebrity people to make money without their permission, which is such a wild thing. Because if I took a picture of, say, George Clooney and I put my product on him and then put an ad up, I'd have to pay him for that,
Right.
or he could sue me.
Right.
Why can't they sue Harvey Levin? His whole business model is just butting into people's business who've given him no permission to do so.
Yeah.
And the reality is they're just celebrities and nobody cares. They're famous, tough shit. And it's kind of messed up because really his whole business model is exploiting other people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
wild to
He's been
me.
doing it for years.
I know. And nobody cares because they're
Nobody
celebrities.
cares.
It's wild.
I'd like to hear from
Yeah.
Blank
Go ahead,
Space.
Blank Space. Definitely. Let us know what your thoughts are.
Give us a call.
Yes, you can.
It's open line Thursday.
I got his phone number.
It would be kind of funny we'd have to have somebody in there manning the broadcaster.
Well, we'd have to have
Yeah,
we'd have
right.
to have him on sometime when he doesn't have a microphone near him so he can fart in the microphone. That's the kind of thing he would do. But go ahead, Vince, ask a quick. Tell us something because we don't really know much about the Guthrie situation.
Other than it's been in the news for 3 weeks, and
Well, his fingers are flying right now while he's trying to run apart. He's a CNC
I guess,
operator.
okay.
my only point is there's things that are much bigger that should be in the news. Well, let's go back clear to the back to the Minnesota stuff before
Oh, yeah.
ICE even went in there. We had Okay.
Sheriff of Pima County.
Hmm.
Oh, messed up the entire investigation. Well, is that happening here? That's happening here.
Yeah.
isn't it?
that's-
Yeah.
Right, it's out of Tucson.
Okay. Well, that kind of makes sense.
But anyway, you had the
All right, you jerk. You tease.
all the bad stuff going on in Minnesota with the, you know, the fraud and all that.
That
It
just
was really
disappeared.
huge. It just disappeared. And
But
then
then
they
he go-
were saying even before they finished that one, they said, and the fraud in California is going to make that look, you know,
Yeah. Well,
Like-
who's
like
who's
nothing.
shocked? Is anybody shocked that the fraud in California is going to be off the chain? I mean, the fraud. Every time we get into the whole like fraud and the money stuff, it's always just so mind numbing. The amount of money that just gets pissed away that they go, meh.
yeah. But see, it's the taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
It's our money.
Right.
You know, I don't think there's anything financially that's hurting us with the Guthrie issue,
No.
but it's the big news, you know, not the,
Right.
not
Because
the
it's
shit that's
because
totally
it's salacious.
screwing us.
And B, there's no answers. And you know what I mean? Like looking into like where your tax money's going, there's probably answers for that, but nobody wants to give the answers for that. And that's all the big things that are going on are things that involve people that have been in office way too long.
Did you get that picture of,
I saw that was gross. That was so gross.
you know,
Oh, the term limit one? No, I didn't get
Yeah,
that one.
it was
I did
gross.
not.
No, people are in the office way too long and there's too much corruption that goes on. And we are in the middle of watching it kind of come to fruition. You know, it's fun to watch Bill Maher and other people talk about how, oh, QAnon was right about stuff. And it's like, that's wildly upsetting.
Yeah.
And it's hard to deal with, you know, Mel Gibson and you got Mel Gibson and what's his face? Who was the other one who helped him with the, not Matt Damon, but Marky Mark.
Oh, yeah. Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. We're involved in the Freedom movie, Operation Freedom movie
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And it's like all really, really disturbing shit. And again,
It turns out to be true.
well, and the problem is to what degree? You know what I mean? Because I remember, you remember when people were saying, oh, well, if Donald Trump's involved in this stuff, then why did the Democrats release it? Well, because they are too.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like the level of people or the amount of people that are clearly involved that are in powerful places, you know, I think at this point seems pretty clear to me that Diddy was a token and Weinstein was a token. Like, here, now shut up.
Yeah.
Here, shut up. How many people do we have to throw out there before you guys just shut up about it?
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're at this point now where it's like
Everything's being exposed.
everything is being exposed, but it's still just all piecemeal. Well, here's 3 billion of them. You know, it's like, thanks. That'll take us a little while to go through, but people are going through it a lot faster than they probably expected.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that's really hard to refute or to even like tame down, like even a little bit. You're like, well, it was just a boys' weekend. Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean, and it's upsetting too because then they get the higher level people that are clearly implicated in something. You
So-
know,
So what do you think of the Michael Jackson thing?
well, which part of the Michael Jackson?
Well, I
thing?
mean, his name was dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
Being an innocent person, you know,
and that
and
is all entertainment industry stuff.
Right.
Because like if you look at the end of his life, he was going after the people who had stolen all of his catalog, stolen all of his music.
so was it an accident?
Well, this is the same. Him and Prince both.
Yeah.
Prince died of a drug overdose,
Right.
and everyone went, "Oh, okay, no way in hell. There's just no way in hell that Prince died of a drug overdose." You can maybe convince me that Michael Jackson was taking something to go to sleep because he was a very hardworking person. There's no way his body wasn't in pain, but there's no way Prince overdosed. There's just not. It's not his thing. He'd never been that guy. I'm not sure if he was Muslim or not, but I know he wasn't a party guy.
Yeah.
His image was very clean. He was just not that guy. So the idea that he OD'd on anything to me is insane. Maybe, but I doubt it. But you look at the same thing. Both of them were going against the record companies and saying, hey, it's time you guys, you know, paid up and admit what you're like, admit how predatory this business is. And, you know, now it's interesting because all their expose stuff's kind of swept under the rug and nobody talks about it anymore. But Michael Jackson was making legitimate claims and calling people out by name about what was going on in the record industry. And those people are still around. They're still
And
doing,
he's not.
and he's not. So
Yeah.
it's frightening to see people in high positions.
But it's still interesting to see those like Macaulay Culkin and the others.
You wonder.
That, I mean, they've never said that he's harmed them in any way, and they're still.
They've all
you know,
said that he never did.
Yeah.
So there's a weird, but you've also never gone out and named names. You look at Corey Feldman's another one. He's said for years, people still in the business that have been that diddling kids and doing all this awful stuff, but he only one time ever gave reports of names, and he gave those reports to California police. They have the reports. They've never been released.
Yeah.
And he knew, because he wants to live.
Yeah.
There's that part where, you know, he wants to stay alive. That's awful and terrifying.
Yeah, that's why we don't hear shit about anything.
Right.
There's too many people that want to stay alive.
Well, this is why, you know,
That's why I don't say anything.
Me being one, I was gonna say me being one of them, which is why I didn't want
Well,
to cover this particular topic tonight.
but we don't know anything either.
That's true. We don't.
You know what I mean? The reality of it is
We're guessing.
we're not dangerous because we don't have any ability to actually tap into these things.
Yeah.
The people who do currently are handling their business just fine. You know, they're still staying alive, talking lots of shit. You know,
It's It's really disturbing. And you asked me before we started the show, am I still Team Trump and everything? You know, I have a hard time in the back of my head, and it could be true, may not be true. I have a hard time thinking that he's involved in any of the corruption.
I've never thought that Trump, it just does for who he is and everything that he's done and his record as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe for a second that he's ever fallen prey to pedophilia or any of that stuff. Is he a pussy hound? 100%. Yeah. And he's been that way since the 80s. Yeah. He likes hot chicks. He's a money man. He's a playboy. Yeah. No question. But I don't see him as the type of, he's not been in a loveless marriage for 30 years with some fucking hag that's trying to ride his coattails. You know what I mean? Bill Clinton fits that bill so fucking well. It's not even funny. Yeah. Donald Trump trades him in and gets a new one. Yeah. That's what a pussy hound does. Yeah. That makes sense to me. I don't believe for a second that he's fallen prey to that. But I've said for many, many years, there's a level of power and fame where I think guys get evil because they run out of anything that's interesting to them. Yeah. Donald Trump is a driven person, business-wise, women-wise. He likes hot chicks and he likes money. Cool. He's not that micro penis evil guy that does the kind of stuff that you're hearing about now.
You got to have some kind of fucked up brain to do some of the shit that they're releasing and talking about right now.
And it's beyond.
Joy and I were talking about that. It's like
it's an evil thing.
Oh, pure evil.
Like, yeah. and this is so rabbit hole city. Sorry, it was gonna happen. If you go back into when 23andMe started happening,
yeah.
There's a little bit of this rabbit hole. I haven't got my foot all the way down in it, but I just a tiny little bit that there are people looking into Tower of Babel and Nimrod and the Antichrist and the genetic span of that over time. That's what that's all about. That's what it was all about. And you look at some of the blood feuds that go on and hey, you're the right kind of people. You're the wrong kind of people. People in those high level positions tend to run in a certain vein. Yeah. And it's terrifying to think, really, like ritualistic killing and sacrifice and stuff. It's all very, very real. And it has run in that vein of like too big to fail sort of feel like we're just too powerful. Fuck them. Who cares? Yeah. But now information is shared a lot easier. Yeah. So there's a lot more little people that are getting little tidbits going like, hey, wait a minute. What about that? Wait a minute. You're right. How come we don't know about that? How come it's been 50 years and we still have questions about this thing that there's got to be 150 people or more who know exactly what happened the day JFK was killed.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And there's just so much bullshit going around that it's really hard to nail it down unless you start thinking about it clearly. Like who benefited from it? Yeah. Maybe the guy who took over. Okay, well, let's look into his lineage. You look into his lineage and you start going, oh shit. Yeah. They're all the same people connected. Big, powerful families over the last 50, 60 years. It's horrifying. And then you go like, well, then what do? You know what I mean? Like, do they kill us? Does that matter? I don't know. At what level can they start or can they stop that from happening again?
don't think he can.
Well, I don't know. We're going to find out because you got people like Ian Carroll and Candace Owens and Tim Dillon that are opening their mouths about this stuff and not being shy about it.
Yeah.
And they're still alive. And they've got that sort of mobster security packs of like, hey, just know what I've told you so far is an attempt to let you guys admit what you're doing.
Right.
And if you don't, I have more. And if something happens to me, it all comes out.
It all comes out. Yeah.
So there's I think there's a weird balance of power where nobody's willing to let it all get dumped. But the people who want it all to get dumped, Massey, what's the other guy? Rand Paul, these guys who are clearly on the right side of just America first. And like, why are we keeping secrets?
Right.
Those guys, I don't know. They just got to have huge balls. Like those are the kind of people that I would aspire to be like. I don't think I'm as strong as they are. Like if it came right down to it and somebody said, shut up, probably would.
Okay.
Those guys don't.
Yeah.
And we need people like that for this to go full circle and hopefully, get some answers and some accountability and then maybe some fucking term limits, change some things. I don't know how it happens, but it's very clear to me that stories like this Guthrie thing,
It's a smoke screen.
100%.
Yeah.
ICE. Same thing.
Yeah.
Well, the ICE thing together. Who really fucking cares?
You know what's going to be the biggest smoke screen when it finally comes out? If it does,
Aliens. Well, and what's his name?
Disclosure. So,
Dr.
Greer.
has said that from the first time. He said the first contact we're going to have is going to be bullshit. He said that for years. First we found him is going to be a government op, 100%. And I'm waiting for it because it feels like it's coming. Because I think Obama said something about it, and then Trump kind of went, that's top secret. Like, wait a minute, what? Like you'd said years ago that you'd be telling us if you knew.
Right.
So it's interesting. But yeah, it's terrifying.
Well, Obama did an interview recently with somebody, and he wouldn't answer the question. He was asked straight out, are there aliens? And he wouldn't answer the question. So, and again, we talked about it on Truth About Beer a long time ago. If it really comes out, is anybody going to be shocked at this point? Is it going to be that big of a deal?
I don't think so.
Well, the weird thing to me is like, if they tell us that they're real, now doesn't that kind of fuck up whatever agreement we've had with the aliens?
Probably.
Like, because I mean, don't they kind of want to stay secret? Because we're weird. People are dumb, and like, they're like, well, shit. Now they're going to shoot us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're going to treat us like ICE agents.
Well, that's the thing. Like, how much more advanced are the aliens than us? And then are the bad ones real? Because my understanding, there are some that we have good terms with, and there's some that we don't.
Yeah.
And so then the ones that we don't are like, sweet, open season.
Yeah. Now it's our chance.
They can start snatching people out of cities and people who can think instead of just backwoods hillbillies and stuff.
Well, what if they just come and annihilate us, right? I mean, all those movies that came out where they just show up and just start blowing shit up, I mean.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I still love that scene on Independence Day where they're all, take me. And the later, whoa. It was like, oh, shit.
I hope they bring back Elvis.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
That's funny. So I found a fun little story that's interesting, and I think you've heard about this. You might have even brought it up to me at one point. But there's something going around on TikTok, started in 2025, claiming that on August 12th, 2026, Earth will lose gravity for 7 seconds.
If this is the pole shift,
Did you hear about it?
the pole shift,
It's not saying it's the pole shift.
I've
It's
not
called-
heard about us losing gravity.
So there's a supposed leaked NASA document called Project Anchor. So it's
Okay.
right. That kind of makes you go, let me think about
Let's
that.
think about it.
So of course, everybody's debunking it, saying it's not real. But I thought it'd be fun. It says gravity on Earth is a result of the planet's mass and cannot simply disappear for a short period of time. For gravity to vanish, Earth would have to lose all its mass, which would mean Earth literally wouldn't exist, or some unknown physics would have to override general relativity. Now, did you watch the video?
I watched the Y-Files one.
Didn't they say it was something about two black holes or something that was going to cause the
That,
interruption in gravity?
Yeah. Like there was two black holes that collided or something.
Yeah. I thought I heard something like that.
I didn't see that in that video, but then I saw another one that talked about that.
So I thought it'd be fun to ask ChatGPT, hypothetically, if gravity did just switch off, what would that look like? What would we experience? So it says, obviously, every person, building, ocean, airplane, and molecule instantly becomes unbound from Earth. The ground would immediately stop pushing up on you. You would not gently float. You would continue moving in a straight line at whatever velocity you already had. Obviously, Newton's first law, right?
Right.
Humans on the surface, because the Earth is rotating at the equator, you're moving 1,000 miles per hour eastward. Gravity keeps you in a curved path with the planet. Without gravity, you move in a straight tangent line.
Just burn up in the atmosphere.
Earth would rotate away beneath you. After 7 seconds, you likely be several hundred feet to thousands of feet above where you started, depending on latitude, moving sideways extremely fast relative to the surface. What if gravity turns back on? You fall hard. For many people, that fall would be fatal. Oceans, where it gets catastrophic, the oceans would no longer be bound to Earth. Water would be moving outward in all directions.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of scary.
Not to mention everything that's in the ocean.
Yeah, right. Atmospheric pressure would also disappear upward for 7 seconds. Massive sheets of water would lift and spread. Coastlines would erupt into chaos. When gravity returns, trillions of tons of water would slam back down. So,
New oceans, huh?
Well, Matt, I mean, Earth wouldn't maintain its shape.
No,
Because it's one of those inconceivable. So the idea of it losing gravity is bizarre and just kind of implausible, because the whole Earth would just explode.
Yeah.
Essentially.
pretty much.
But yeah, no, I've not heard of that one yet, because it would seem to be, I'm not sure what would cause that, but either way, it'd be fun for 7 seconds or so.
It would be quick, though.
It would be
I'm
quick.
about that.
Yeah, well, and it would be, I mean, compared to like the pole shift catastrophe, it's actually not too bad, because everybody's just fucking gone. Everything's unburied. Everything's just boom, boom, boom. Versus, pole shift is fucking shitty.
But that actually does happen.
That does happen. So if we're around for that, that's going to suck, because if you're,
And we're way overdue for it.
yeah, but we're in a good place for it. Being in Arizona is not a bad place to be, because elevation wise, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
We might get something on the splashback, but we're like California's fucking gone.
Gone.
Oh, darn.
Oh,
Well, except my little brother.
well,
He
well,
lives in California.
You have to warn them until.
well, this is there's
Get
a
back
lot
to
of
Arizona.
cool bunkers available.
There are.
Oh yeah, so I like that. If God created everything and He created alien technology, well, I believe, and I don't know, that there are books discussing aliens that are absent from the Bible. And then this is,
Book
again,
of Enoch.
yeah. So these are things that are sort of already kind of covered in that space. So like it makes sense. But again,
So
it's part of His plan.
Lindsay says here, the angels described in the Bible are not what we think of as angels now. So those could be our aliens.
Well, the aliens could also be in the ocean.
Yeah.
And again, Scripture was meant for us. So taking biblical stuff as the only existence is kind of narrow-minded and silly. Because and our God's not, is it the only God? I don't know.
Well, when you go back to Greek mythology, how many gods were there? Right? I mean, they were all gods.
Yeah, I this is the thing. So the idea that every UFO was recovered by the government is not implausible, because the reality is they're the ones who have the technology to actually scan and notice that the damn thing came down in the first place, then go to wherever it crashed, kill whoever saw it, and take ownership of it. So it's not impossible for me to believe that the government would have all of it. They would not, there would be other people who witnessed it, and those people would go away, because who fucking cares? You know what I mean? Because you're right. If they're hillbillies out and wherever, and they're taking apart the UFO they found, 15 minutes before somebody shows up and goes, "Hey, what'd you find?" They go, "Oh, nothing." Bam.
Bam.
Well, there was the one in Texas where the guy took the dead alien and buried him under a tree,
I did not hear about that one, but that's hard. That's hard to believe, because I do think that the government would see it. They'd be aware of it.
Well, this was back in the Old West.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. That would be interesting.
I haven't heard that story.
Yeah. I can't, tell you. it very well, but it's out there.
That's interesting though.
I just know that
Well, this is the thing, again, you get into the ancientness of the earth and all the things that do exist in this planet that we are aware of, the things that we have found, the things that we've seen, and the stuff that we know that they don't tell us everything about, the pyramids, Göbekli Tepe, and the other places that are older than that, that are verifiably older than that we don't have any idea how they built them, how they created them, then how they buried them and preserved them. All that stuff is so unbelievably mind-blowing and huge on the scale of, was it hidden? Is it hidden? We'll never be able to know. I mean, even if we could get over to Egypt, you can't go just on a sightseeing tour or just on an explorer tour underneath the Sphinx and stuff, even though we have scans that there's shit down there.
Archaeologists can go down there, but we can't.
Well, and even there, they keep a
They're
tight
limited,
hold on
yeah.
it, and who knows why? I don't know why they keep that such a secret. It seems like, why wouldn't you want people to know about this stuff? What could possibly be down there other than proof of historical lies?
Yeah.
You
Even with today's technology, don't you think the pyramids would be hard to build the way they built them back then?
They would
I mean, we
impl-
build them out of steel now and all that crap.
but we
it's-
can't build them.
Right.
We can't mimic that. It's been covered by many, many people that building the pyramids is not a human feat.
Right.
It's just, we can't do it. We can't figure out how they did it. We don't have the ability to do it again. It's, for lack of a better term, impossible. So it's one of those things where, like, well, clearly we don't know what happened.
Right.
And so who built them? Who knows? How long ago? Who knows? What for? Who knows? There's lots of theories about it. And in our lifetime, we'll probably never know. But the thing that always irritates me about that stuff is, like, why would you keep it a secret? But then you go into stuff like the Anunnaki and are we a slave race that's meant to get all the gold out of the earth so they can come, when the cycle comes back around, they need it to reinvigorate their atmosphere so they're not all killed.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, that's a shit deal. So they're going to come back around and go like, oh, these guys invented a lot of crap since last time we were here. Well, what should we do? Well, let's just fucking annihilate them again. You know what I mean? We'll start over.
I wrote a story about that.
Yeah. I haven't read it yet.
yeah, it's a good story.
Well, because that's, plausible. It's wild, but it's very plausible that, maybe we aren't the first beings to inhabit this earth.
We know
Maybe-
we're not. I mean, I think we
Well,
pretty confident that we're not. I mean, at least
you-
I am.
You're pretty confident. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah.
A lot of people are, but the historical record would disagree with you.
Yeah.
We still have a diagram of monkeys turning into people.
Yeah.
And there's people that say, well, yeah, that's what happened. And it's so stupid to think that that's what happened and look at things like the pyramids and Göbekli Tepe and go, yeah, somewhere in that line, these things did that. It's just stupid.
But even just go back to basic, just dinosaurs in general, to think that creatures that big lived on the planet and to think that us 6 foot tall, we're the first, right?
And that's what's funny too. Like, I don't know where, I forget where they say historically dinosaurs, millions of years ago.
Yeah.
That these things,
Billions.
and then
I think
some
it
of
was
them,
billions of years ago.
well, then some of them, we've got fossils of, and a lot of them we don't. We're just kind of making it up. And some people think they never existed. And it's like, either way, who gives a shit? It's interesting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like somewhere along that line, it's very possible this planet was completely annihilated. All life, for lack of a better term, was destroyed, started over at some level, or was recreated. And that's the part that's, I think, hardest for people to deal with, especially from a scientific standpoint. If dinosaurs did exist here some point without human beings, what were they here? How were they here? What created them?
Right.
The primordials ooze and they turned into those things. And then where the fuck did we come from? You know what I mean? It's like at some point there's a creation story here that nobody knows.
Right.
Or at least nobody's putting into that realm of existence. Because if you go from just scriptural or biblical ideas, dinosaurs aren't included in any of that shit. All right, well, what the hell was that? A different time, a different God,
Right.
a different whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's all
Or
very.
if this was a multi-billion-year plan, so that the creator first puts the dinosaurs so that they can roam and die off and all that, and then turn into fossil fuel for the race that's gonna, continue on.
And this is where I wonder, like,
That's interesting.
how much do you know about fossil fuel? Because we've always heard that. I've buried shit. There's no gasoline in my backyard. There's no oil in the back. You know what I mean? The shit just rots away and it's just gone. The bones stay there for a little while, but eventually those go away too. So the fossil stuff is so wild to me because it's like, so we're to be told that dead shit at some point turned into these giant oil fields. Maybe, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how
part of the master plan. I don't know.
It's if it is a master plan or if it's a plan at all. And that's the tough part about it is, we're just kind of along for the ride and trying to figure it out. And it's interesting, but I hate that we don't get to know the answers for sure.
No, we're only here for
just an absolute, just a butt fart, tiny little amount of time. But
how old they say the earth is? I can't remember. It's something like 6 billion years or something like that. I don't know. That's hard to fathom. 6 billion years.
1,000 years is hard to fathom.
Yeah, I know.
Like there's people, there's not too many left, but there's people that are alive that remember cars coming around.
Yeah.
Like there was a time when people rode horses places and wagons and shit. And like there's cars that drive themselves.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
In a short period of time.
Very short period of time. The technological advancement just in my lifetime from telephones to this shit is so insane. Just again, I'm not entirely, sold on the idea that humans alone came up with any of this shit because it all seems so bizarre when you think of microprocessors and what they actually are. It's a polished rock that they figured out some sort of chemical reaction where they can make all these little things on them that are essentially switches and it thinks. That's just insane. And the best part is if our atmosphere weakens just enough for some of that solar energy to get through, it all fucking blows up. That's crazy. But that's, you know what I mean? Solar flares just end it all. 1 CME and a weak atmosphere, piff.
And they're happening more and more. When in your lifetime have you ever heard of the aurora making it down here?
Oh, it makes it way past here too.
I'm just saying, like in my lifetime, I always thought you thought aurora, that's Alaska.
That's
right?
Northern Lights.
That's where you go to see those.
Well, and it's wild because as it's happening more and more, again, this is that whole ability to share information. Like, I don't know how much it's happened. I only know how much it's happened based on what somebody tells me that, it hasn't happened in 50 years. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I take their word for it because I wasn't paying attention I wasn't here 50 years ago. But the last time that it happened, I wasn't paying attention to it and I didn't have access to that information. So we're just going by somebody saying this doesn't happen very often. Okay. When's the last time you looked up and saw the Northern Lights? I haven't seen it once.
I've never seen them.
And this is what I'm saying. Like they've been saying they're coming down further and further. I'm like, okay, well, I've never managed to catch it. I believe them.
I've seen pictures.
I've seen pictures too, but I've seen pictures of stuff that I know is not real. So at that point, it's just again, it's this whole barrage of information that's super interesting and at the same time horrifying and might mean absolutely nothing.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Nobody living on Earth would ever see all of Earth's cycles,
Right.
Especially they say it's 26,000 year cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
And based on what they can explain it to if you ask them. But at the same time, it's like nobody was here.
No.
Nobody was fucking here.
No.
That's why I don't buy into the global warming thing as being something that we caused.
Well, because it's not.
Yeah.
But I think it was George Carlin that talked about that we're going to save the earth. Like the earth's going to be fine.
Yeah.
The one thing we don't have to worry about is destroying the earth. It's going to be fine.
The earth's going to destroy us.
That's the thing. Like nuclear fallout just kills all of us.
Yeah.
It'll still be here. We don't have enough nuclear weapons to destroy the earth.
No.
Destroy the ecosystem, sure. And then we're gone. Planet's fine. It's still going to go on. So it's a silly ass thing.
Then the aliens will come back and replenish.
Well, they're supposed to. I mean, that's, why'd they build a slave planet?
Stonehenge has always been fascinating to me.
And Stonehenge is fucking finger painting compared to,
right?
You know what I mean? Compared to like Göbekli Tepe and the pyramids. Stonehenge is just some kid with marbles. Like, oh, look, they kind of made a pattern. But it's
Lincoln logs.
It's fascinating. But the other thing, and the things that are underwater that we find that we're like, yeah, no, that's natural. No, it isn't.
Right.
It's clearly not. But, you don't want to deal with that because there's no answers for any of it. It's all just speculation and guessing. And, I think it's easy to believe that the pyramids are some sort of power system based on what we know now and the little bit of information that Tesla was able to keep from burning or being stolen. It makes sense to me that they were some sort of power system. To what end? I don't know.
Right.
Where's the rest of it? Who knows? Maybe in the ocean somewhere, got buried last time the pole shifted. It's weird because, all the alignments with celestial bodies and stuff that they say that the pyramids have and all that stuff is like, well, if the earth has shifted or changed, then why would it still be the same? Well, because it's a fucking microcosm of the amount of time that it's been around. So the millions of years that those had to have been created within to align with stars and still align with stars has to be pretty small, doesn't it? How often does that change? I don't know. We've only been here for, just the tiniest amount of time.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear the scientists explain the stuff that they do know, that they're sure of, and then also recognize they're all just guessing. You're like, and it's not impossible to just make shit up and go, hey, look, those line up with this. No fucking way. And you say, oh, ancient astrologers were able to figure that out. Did they? I don't know. Maybe they just guessed.
Well, science is never exact, right? It's always built on hypothesis. So
But that's another thing that just disappeared that I really thought would hang on was the LiDAR and all that they did with the pyramids.
the pyramids, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember the ones in the Amazon the last 15 minutes? That there's all this stuff in the Amazon rainforest that they found with
I've seen
LiDAR.
that.
Yeah.
I heard about that for 5 seconds and then nobody
Yeah.
talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
It was like, I want to look into that. That's gonna be hard. How many weeds we have to kill? Like, I don't know why nobody's interested in looking into that stuff.
Because they have to change the history books.
Right.
And that's very inconvenient.
And that all comes back to the same levels of power that are just hiding shit from people. And why? We don't get to know why. We don't get to know why. And if we do figure out why, then they'd have to kill us, everybody, don't they? Well, they figured it out. Crap. It's so weird.
It's very strange.
It's so weird. We should plan a field trip to go back at Tebet. Can you go there? Isn't it in Turkey or something?
I think so. Yeah, we
So
we
we're
talked
done.
about that recently, didn't we?
I think we should. We should figure it out.
Love to see all
It's
those
not
places.
It's not a very good place to go right now, from what I understand.
All the cool
Turkey.
places are nowhere good to go. It's always all Middle Eastern shit where everything, where the beginning of civilization.
Sure,
This
yeah.
is the part where you get into kind of biblical stuff. It's like, why does it all happen there? So, well,
Right.
maybe there's a reason it all happened there. And then once again, it's God's fault. Dude, I have questions. Why'd you make it in places where we can't go look at stuff anymore? Fence it off, wait for them to come back.
I still love that idea.
It's a great idea that nobody likes. Just fence it all off. Nobody gets to go there till he comes back and tags.
Yep.
I don't care which one it is. If it's Muhammad, I'll be sad. I don't feel like it will be. Would you be
But I
pissed?
remember the South Park episode where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the Mormons.
Yeah.
They were right.
That was always a joke. That was always my favorite joke, is like, you're sneaking by the Mormon room. They think they're the only ones here.
Good stuff. So what else are they hiding from us? Anything?
Oh, plenty.
Oh, I know.
You saw the picture of the portal, right? Into the ocean.
No.
Oh, yeah. So on the property in the island, there's a door in one of the suites. It just goes into the water. Yep. Yeah. Yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just all that's just so unbelievably disturbing, and just like, you don't want to believe that anybody's capable of that shit. But again, I've always said I'm glad to not be that. I mean, I've always wanted to be wealthy-ish, whatever, but like never wanted to be at that point where you like, prostitution's supposed to be like rampant during the Super Bowl. I've never seen it. So you have to know somebody or be in some certain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're coming to town with the boys, bring some hookers. Like, whatever that is, the human trafficking thing is wild to me. I'm glad I don't have any idea where it happens. I'm glad it's never touched my family or anyone close to me. But the idea that it exists is not lost on me. But at the same time, it's lost on me, because I just can't wrap my head around, what do you want to do this weekend? Well, I don't know. Let's get some kids. The fuck,
Yeah.
But that's what we're talking about. That's has to be a reality somewhere on this planet, that there are people that are like,
That's kind
Stuff
of
7:30.
that's kind of more important to talk about than Guthrie, you know?
You would think so. Like, hey, let's get some Coke
know.
and some kids. What?
Yeah.
Who are those people?
Right.
How is that exist? How is that even plausible? Yet it's something that apparently hundreds of thousands of people have fallen victim to. That's insane.
It's disturbing.
And we're still going like, well, we'll tell you maybe later.
Did you ever watch Sound of Freedom?
I haven't. I can't.
It's tough. It's tough to watch.
I believe that. Passion of the Christ was also a movie produced by Mel Gibson.
That was
And
tough.
yeah, he does a good job of making you think about it. I don't want to think about it any more than I already do. I'm okay with the, little grainy thoughts I have about it. I don't need full color, big screen. Fucking nope. I'm good. I'll fight it with my nothing over here.
Crazy. It's a crazy world we live in. It really is.
Sick.
Yeah, it is a sick world.
Well, here's the challenge in life. I think maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but the challenge in life is it's okay to be aware of those things, but you can't let them consume you, because for whatever reason, whatever this earth is, whatever its purpose is, whether you're a spiritual person or an atheist or whatever you are, you can't let that stuff consume you. And you see anybody that goes to that level of letting it consume them, one side or the other, it'll destroy you. And I'm not a big believer in the devil, but whatever the devil or that energy is, it's all encompassed there. I can't stop child trafficking. I'm not involved in it. I think it's awful, but I can't spend my time on that because it'll destroy your brain.
Yeah.
It just will. What do you do about it? Well, talk about it, acknowledge it. Hopefully, whatever the powers are that have the ability to stop those things will come together and stop them. But we're talking about millions of people who fall victim to that kind of stuff. That's horrific.
Oh, yeah. And it happens every day.
Yeah. And so like, what's the justice in that? Because you and I live great lives. A lot of people, I always say it's so funny. And when you talk about how bad things are in this country, or anybody who talks about how bad they are in this country, they were hot air balloons up in the morning.
Yeah.
We're doing okay. Just look at billboards on the side of the road, the stuff that we can do for fun, to just distract ourselves from day to day. We're doing okay.
Yeah.
So how do we get to where people are more mindful of the fact to make it so that there's no market for that stuff? That's what I would like to know.
Social media is always going to be the cause of that, though.
Well,
It's
social
never
media
gonna-
fuels it, but keep in mind, these things have been around for hundreds of years, way before social media
They did,
existed.
but we didn't have the access to it that we have.
Right. So now we have
It's
the
not
access to
shoved
it.
in our face.
Well,
Yeah.
and it would be nice to see it being used more to help stop it.
Yeah.
So how do we get more turned like that? You get people who, like I said, like Tim Dillon, like Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, people that are saying things that they don't necessarily have the verification for, but we should figure out what's happening. How many hundreds of thousands of kids were lost during all the immigration debacle of the Biden administration? Where are those kids? Who's looking for them? Is anyone looking for them? No. That's not an okay thing. So this whole distraction with other stupid stories. Well, some bitch got run over, killed by ICE. You're at a fucking protest. You're driving in front of cops. I don't care.
Yeah.
Sorry for her family, but not really, because fuck off. You went to a police action, you got shot. I don't feel bad for you. You weren't pulled out of a parking lot. You weren't ripped from your family, sold into slavery, any of the awful things that have happened to these other people that we'll never know their names.
Yeah.
You got kidnapped because your stupid aunt or whoever the hell it is on TV. Oh, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I just don't give a shit. There's bigger things that should be dealt with. And I don't know how do we turn that so that it's not so polarizing? Because I don't like that I don't give a shit about the Guthrie situation. But at the same time, I shouldn't even fucking know about it.
True. Yeah.
Why do we even need to know about it? I can't do anything about it.
It's a good point.
It's what one of the things that makes this life difficult, but also makes me very grateful for the life that I have and for all the people that I know and all the people that, people that are listening. We're all doing way better than a lot of folks.
Yeah, I want to have my brother on the show. I'm thinking he's coming out first week in March. I may have him and see if he wants to jump on the show with us that week, because him and my sister-in-law, they go to Africa every year and they volunteer. And they just got done building dorms for one of the schools there for the kids. And it'd be cool to have him on to kind of discuss what you're talking about, how it's really not that bad here,
No,
right?
no, having
to
a global awareness is tough.
it is.
All mine's imagined. I've never been anywhere that was really that difficult except for LA.
Yeah.
Guadalupe also, but but I'm aware that I live a very sheltered life. I mean, at the worst time of my life, financially and spiritually and everything else, I was still better off than a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's maybe a little heavy.
Yeah, that was a little bit heavy.
Like these nuts.
All right, we're gonna go play music.
We
we
are.
something to make us happy after that. But
Cool. We'll put up wherever that beacon. Are they going to stream it? We're going to try to stream it.
yeah, we'll try it again. We'll see what happens.
All
So
right.
look up the band from Rattlecat Junction on TikTok, and we're gonna go play some music.
Thanks for
Yes,
joining
we will.
us.
And
Thank
then,
you, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to buy some
Stuff.
red, white, and badass brew coffee.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next Thursday.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
Good night.